Chapter 29, A Light Warning. I'd like to offer a couple of warnings about this happiness journey. As you become less certain that there is a me, you might experience twinges of being as energy or light. You might see what seems solid out there as light and more translucent. You might see all the real, solid things out there as more like transitory rainbows. Your world takes on a shimmer of dancing light. There's a lake in Glacier National Park the local indigenous tribe calls the Lake of the Dancing Light. And sure enough, in the morning light, with a slight breeze, the lake dances as if it's composed of diamonds and rainbow molecules. Your eyes, when free of being filtered by the haze of discursive chatter and expectations, perceive the more direct display of reality, and it can actually shock you. When that happens, apply the teaching of NBD. No big deal. Another safeguard along the joy journey. Smile. Be happy for the treat. Enjoy the moment and savor its tenderness. Anchor that and go back to chopping wood, carrying water. Don't try to make anything special of it. Grace happens. It comes, it goes. Enjoy it, but don't try to make it last any longer than it lasts or to recreate it. Host the experience as though it were a visitor from Venus. Our sensory apparatuses, like our eyes and ears, become more acute as you unclog the senses from the projections that diminish their acuity and start picking up hints of lightness. It's wonderful, a step along the path, not the goal. The goal is lightness, kindness, and selfless presence. After moments like these, hold these insight gifts lightly, as touchstones, and try not to drop back into discursive distraction by solidifying them as sugar treats. If you try to replicate these glimpses of perception, they become something else you have to carry around, and eventually you'll need to let the experiences go as they're gone anyway. The uncomfortable reality about out there is that it's really all in here. We have no objective way of proving out there isn't really all just an experience of in here. There's no way we can experience an objective world because a subjective us is how we experience it. Our brains are creating out there from sensory data coming toward as varying frequencies, different ones for sight, sound, touch, taste, and hearing, and assembling a picture based on past pictures we've put together to live by. Light rays have no color, and sound waves have no sound. They're all vibrations. Sound and light consists of tiny vibratory particles that our senses receive and from which they compose a Picasso, a Monet, a Beethoven symphony, and our lives. The only way we know a Monet exists is that our brain tells us so. As you practice presence, light might become more intriguing. As the spiritual teacher Frederick Lentz put it, beneath our transient physical bodies, we are made of intelligent light. It isn't often that we get to contemplate that our world, our very being, is just light solidified. Our planet lives because of light. Can you imagine how crazy a step that was? A planet learned to eat light. We have food because plants photosynthesize. We then eat the plant of light, or the animal that ate that plant. With this realization, we see how light becomes joy and happiness. It's not just all good, it's all space and light. No need to believe even the physics of this. Just go with the feelings that arise from seeing life lighter. Love, compassion, empathy, happiness, oneness, peace. String these little flashes as a lei for a special occasion called life. Tibetans call such moments becoming a child of illusion. We acknowledge that life has a filmic, dreamlike, ethereal quality. Permitting ourselves to be joyful, childlike is another step in the lighten up dance. There are other warnings I want to mention. Madison Avenue won't like this, but you might find yourself less interested in stuff. That's easier here in Hawaii because the island lifestyle isn't about parading around with status symbols. Exactly how expensive a t-shirt can you wear? I'm not saying you'll no longer like nice things, but the validation or security you get from owning diminishes. You might also be faced with a red pill, blue pill choice, the choice Neo makes in The Matrix. Do you want to live in this new reality or stay in the old one? You might feel a kind of nostalgia for the time when you were certain of your solid viewpoint. You might long for past blissful ignorance. One character in The Matrix deliberately went back into virtual reality so he could have the illusion of a steak dinner, a bottle of wine, and a toss in the hay. Whatever your version of this might be, you might wish, only half jokingly, that you'd never heard of happiness. Well then, take a break. Give yourself time to relax without thinking about improving anything. Play spiritual hooky for a couple of days.